What's up everybody, Silver here with another Halo Master Chief Collection Achievement Guide. This time we're doing Torchbearer, which is in Halo 3, beat the par score on the level Halo. So we're finishing up our par score guides in the game Halo 3. You can see right when we started off, I turned around and there's actually a ton of weapons that are strewn about the floor, or the ground rather. Floors are for inside, and we're definitely outside here. And there's a bunch of battle rifles, so I like to grab the battle rifle. And I have rockets as well, because you spawn with those, which is great. You have 8 rockets, and we are moving up to the first encounter here. This is all Flood. You will fight some Sentinels at the end, but it's mostly Flood. And I'm doing this on Heroic. I recommend doing it on Heroic or Legendary. Obviously, the higher the difficulty, the more points you get for every kill. So obviously, it'd be a lot tougher to get it on Easy or Normal, just because of the fact that it'd be easier to kill enemies, but you get way less points for killing those same enemies. So Heroic or Legendary would definitely be the way to go. I have some skulls on to assist with my endeavor here. Also, I have 4 skulls on that also help out with my multiplier. I have on Tough Luck, Catch, Thunderstorm, and Tilt. Most skulls help out with your multiplier. They increase it. It makes the game a little more difficult, but it also increases the base score for all the enemies you kill. So there's that. And here is a Brute Shot that was just destroyed to my right, or the enemy wielding the Brute Shot was destroyed. So I'm going to grab that in a second. You want to just take out as many enemies as you can in the first part here with your rockets, and then once they're expended, just grab a Brute Shot, hopefully. If you can't find a Brute Shot, you could take this hammer that is wielded. The weapon that the Brute combat form was wielding is a hammer, so you want to pick that up if you can't find a Brute Shot. Brute Shot is definitely the weapon you want to grab if you could find one. There's a couple more up here, as you can see. If you go too fast, obviously, there won't be these guys, because you just run past them before they even spawn. And you can see where we might just run past them entirely, because we are going to skip this whole bottom section now that we've wasted all our rockets and gotten some Brute Shot. The main thing with the Brute Shot is the fact that it kills everything in one melee, most of the time. So we're going to do a grenade jump here, do a crouch jump when you do that grenade jump, obviously. For anyone new to Halo speedruns or just Halo tips in general, tips and tricks, a grenade jump is when you throw a grenade down and then you jump as it goes off and you use the concussive force of the grenade to propel yourself even higher and further than you normally would with a regular jump. So that's what we did there. You can't make that jump just normally. You do need that grenade, and you want to use a frag grenade. You don't want to use a plasma grenade. So we skipped all of the enemies down below, and you may be asking yourself, but Silver, we want to go for the par score. We're getting the par score, aren't we? Shouldn't we, kill all the enemies to get more points? Why, yes, that is true, good sir. It is not what we're going to do here. We're going to go for some speed as well, because speed factors into your score, oddly enough. Par time has its own achievement, but par times also factor into your par score, which is silly. They kind of should have split it up, in my opinion, but, it's not too bad anyway. It's kind of an easier way to, or not an easier way, but it is an option in regards to getting your score up. Allow me to explain. Whenever you finish the game, not the game, but whenever you finish the level, however much time it took, you will get a time bonus based on that time. The par time, which is 20 minutes for this level, will grant you the maximum time bonus, which is a 3 times multiplier. So if you finish with 10,000 points, for instance, and you finish within the par time, which is 20 minutes, you'll get the maximum time multiplier, which is 3. So 3 times 10,000 is 30,000, which would put you over the 24,000 par score limit, which is what you need to get the achievement. So you need to get at least 24,000 points to get the achievement. So we could, in theory, just get 8,000 points and also finish within 20 minutes, which is what we're pretty much going to aim for. I'm going to finish with around, I forget exactly, I filmed this a couple days ago. I think I finished with like 10 to 12,000 points or something. I don't remember exactly. But that is going to be multiplied by 3, so I finished with like 30 to 36,000 points. So that puts us over the 24,000 threshold. And you can see up here, I should be explaining what I'm doing up here. I'm just running around meleeing people for the most part with the Brute Shot, because the Brute Shot has the blade on the bottom of it, so it is a very effective melee weapon. It actually has more melee damage than all the other weapons, except for the sword, of course. And I guess the hammer. It actually might even be better than the hammer, especially against those gigantic tank forms. But anyway, long story short, we're going for 8,000 points to be multiplied by 3 by finishing in under 20 minutes, and we're also going to use the Brute Shot for this entire top of the pyramid area, and we're just going to smack all the people, because you have unlimited smacking capabilities. You never run out of ammo when you're just smacking people. You do want to shoot some people on occasion, like you can see I do here, and that's when you're kind of getting overrun, so you just kind of shoot a couple rounds into the giant mass of people and it takes out most of them. So that's always an option if you are getting weak. You could see here I use the invincibility. You probably noticed I grabbed it earlier on. If not, rewind and notice when I pick it up, it's right in the kind of top pointed part of the pyramid here. Right here where I am now is where it would be. I already used it though, as you probably noticed. So we are just going to continue on. Hopefully we don't need it anymore, and I have no shield right as I say that, but we're going to be good. Don't worry about it. Just kind of try to hide when that happens. You'll also notice that there's 2 auto sentries that I did not deploy when we came into this section. That is because they will actually turn on you after we go kill a Guilty Spark. They turn against you, and you could just kill them so they don't turn against you, but when you do that, you'll obviously be killing an ally, and you will lose points for that, so that's not good either. And they're actually pretty tough to kill when they're against you, because you're only given an assault rifle and some plasma rifles, and they're tough to kill with that, and they're actually very devastating in regards to their offensive output towards you, so they will kill you pretty fast. So just don't even deploy them. I just looked at them right there, and just leave them alone. Just leave them there dormant on the ground. They're fine. Don't worry about it. It's cold out, but they're machines. They don't care about cold. So that was an unnecessary bubble shield pickup that I just did. We're actually going to lose all the weapons that we have here, unfortunately, so whatever you pick up and grab at this point will not matter. You're going to be reset to no grenades, no equipment, and an assault rifle, and that is it once we kill Guilty Spark. So whatever you grab here doesn't really matter. It does matter for the Guilty Spark fight, I suppose, but I mean, nothing really matters in that fight except for the Spartan laser that Johnson eventually gives you. The bubble shield does help a little bit. I skipped ahead here because of me just walking up there and that cutscene, so we skipped ahead to fighting Guilty Spark, and you can see here I'm going to deploy the bubble shield, and that kind of does help, I guess, but it's totally unnecessary. Guilty Spark actually never shoots directly at you. He either shoots to your left and then closes in on you, or he shoots to your right and then closes in on you. So obviously if he shoots to your right, just move to the left. If he shoots to your left, move to the right. So it's pretty easy to do that, very easy to dodge. And we're just going to wait for Johnson to blow him away with his Spartan laser, and then we're going to go grab it ourselves. Here we go, going to grab it. I've said it before, I always like to give him the battle rifle to die with, because that is the weapon he is holding in the Contact Harvest book on the cover. So I just like to give him that because he looks good on that cover. I mean, take a look at it. He looks like a freaking boss in that picture. But anyway, Guilty Spark will start shooting at you again once he gets off the floor. You can see I was looking at him when he was kind of immobile on the floor. You can't actually damage him when he's on the floor there, so don't even bother shooting at him. Wait till he comes to the center here, shoot him 3 times, and you are good. I'm just wasting all my grenades because we're not going to get to keep any of them anyway, like I mentioned earlier. But we skip that cutscene. We don't need to watch me do that because you could watch the cutscene on your own. I always cut those out on guides because obviously you don't need a guide to watch a cutscene. But here we go. You can see we only have 1 assault rifle, no grenades, no secondary weapon, and we have to fight all these infection forms. Well, we could ignore them for the most part, but we do have to fight these 3 elite combat forms, which are annoying because they have shields, which makes it annoying. Very annoying, especially when you have an assault rifle. Once you get these plasma rifles, though, it's not as bad. You want to grab these. Look at me. I'm like you, Arbiter. Dual plasma rifles. We can hang out now, right? After this, though, like, I know we're at work right now, but can we hang out after? You want to go to a bar or something? Arbiter, Arbiter, I want to be like you. Alright, enough of that. We got 2 sentinels coming from the top left. There they are. You want to start shooting at those guys? They go down fairly easily. I guess not that easily because I almost lost all my shield there. They go down much more easily when there's no skulls on. I'll put it that way. So we're going to follow the Arbiter up the incline here, and speaking of skulls, I have on 4, like I mentioned earlier, Tough Luck, Catch, Thunderstorm, and Tilt. Tough Luck makes it so that enemies are more likely to dodge out of the way when you throw a grenade at them, or if you're trying to splatter them with a vehicle. Also, they're more likely to berserk, but that situation never really comes up, any of those 3 situations, when you're dealing with floods. So they do like to dodge out of the way at the end when we're in the Warthog, but who cares? By that point, we should have all the points we need anyway. So moving on to Catch. Catch makes enemies throw more grenades more often, except for the fact that, guess what? None of these enemies throw grenades. Sentinels and these flood forms, none of the flood forms throw grenades. So that's pretty much a freebie. And also, Thunderstorm upgrades all the enemies, but there's no upgrades for flood enemies or sentinels in this game either. So that's another freebie. And also Tilt, it's not so much a freebie as it is just easy to deal with. It makes it so that all of the strengths and weaknesses of weapons are enhanced. So normally plasma weapons are great at taking down shields but not health, and human weapons are vice versa. They're great at taking down health and not shields, and those are just enhanced even more with the Tilt Skull on. So that's what those 4 do. They're pretty easy to deal with, so I threw those on to increase my score. And now back to the gameplay. Normally I run past a lot of these enemies, but since we're going for par score, I figured I'd take a few extra seconds to get some more points. And you can see here we are over the 8,000 that we need, so if we finish within 20 minutes, which we are definitely going to do, we will get the 24,000 required, but you know, why not get more points? A little bit of an insurance policy. So we're going to run up here and hop in the Warthog, and the Arbiter will do his sweet little, oh, I've been in active camouflage the whole time, I've been waiting for you in this Warthog turret for like the past 10-15 minutes, where were you? And you're like, bull freaking crap, man. You were not in there. That is just Bungie's clever ruse, clever way of putting you in the Warthog without me having to pick you up again, because that would be god-awful if you actually had to go get the Arbiter every time you flipped or whatever. Oh my god. I can see it now. Another escort mission where you actually have to escort him and make sure he doesn't die. It's like Keys on Truth and Reconciliation all over again. Or, worse, guarding Dare and Virgil on the Coastal Highway, the last level in ODST. Dear God, was that annoying. No one likes escort missions, as someone succinctly commented on one of my Coastal Highway videos. But anyway, I digress. We are going through here. It's pretty much, you know, just drive to the end at this point. The Arbiter will take out some enemies for you, which is great. You could also try to splatter more enemies to get more points. You want to avoid splattering any carrier forms, though, obviously, because they blow up and they could flip you. So that would be no good. So just run over all the combat forms. You could avoid all the infection forms because those might make you flip, and those have no point value, so no point running over those guys. But you are welcome to follow this path if you would like. I know a lot of people take a lot of different routes. It's interesting to see where people go. There's no specifically correct way to go. I mean, there is for speedrunning purposes, but for just, you know, let me just complete this real quick, there's not, you know, a particular way to go that's better. I go back on that immediately. There are better ways to go, but it doesn't really matter. Do what you want. You could take this route if you'd like. It's pretty reliable. Obviously, I go the same route every time for the most part, so I know where all the explosions are, where the floor is going to pop up and not be in a split second, so I know which tile to not drive at. Look at all these sprees and multi-kills. Oh my god. Sprees and multi-kills are things you want to try to go for. They do increase your score even more, so if you got a double kill, it is worth more than just getting 2 regular single kills. So, oh my god, I just drove on top of that Sentinel, and it almost flipped me. Not cool, Sentinel, not cool. You are not supposed to be there. We can see we're just continuing to drive. I invite all of you crazy kids to check out my channel. I have a ton of par score guides up, I have a ton of par times. I also have all the collectibles in the Master Chief Collection, so that includes terminals, skulls, Halo 3 ODST audio logs, Halo 2 toys that are found in campaign, the blast soda cans in the multiplayer maps, and just everything you would ever need. All the Easter egg achievements, basically just all the achievements are covered. I still have a few more to cover, but for the most part they are up here on my channel, so check that out if you need any help or you're just curious. And I will say that I have up all the LASO guides for all levels and all the Halo games in the Master Chief Collection. So that's CE, 2, 3, 4, and ODST. I have a LASO guide for every single level to help you get that achievement. It is the hardest achievement by far, and no other Halo channel has such extensive LASO guides as mine has, so check that out. I also have up speedrun guides, so you could get the speedrun achievements for finishing each game in under 3 hours on Legendary. And in those guides, I take a lot of tricks and explain them and break them down for you so you could do some of those tricks, but I also avoid some of the tricks as well, because sometimes just doing a little workaround that takes like 2 minutes is much easier than mastering a trick. We're going for 3 hours, not the world records for all these games. I will show you some awesome skips to make it quicker and easier, but I'll also avoid some of the very hard skips and just show you a much easier way to go about it. So if you're interested in any of that nonsense, I invite you to click like and subscribe for all that goodness. I'm also covering all of the Halo achievements for any legacy Halo game, so that's any game on 360, any Halo game on PC or tablet or Windows Phone, so that's like Spartan Strike, Spartan Assault, and any game that is on Xbox One, of course. So once Halo 5 drops, I will be focusing exclusively on that until I have all those achievements covered, and then I'll be covering all the older ones. And I'll also be covering commendation guides for Reach 4 and 5, because those are the only games that have commendations in them so far. And of course I'll be covering Halo Wars 2 once it comes out in 2016. Just covering a lot of stuff here on this channel. This is meant to cover every single Halo achievement and every single Halo game. So that's what I'm going to do, and the commendations. And I'm also going to start streaming some Twitch nonsense. I'm not really active on there right now. I do have a profile set up. It is Silver Scorpion 4, which is my gamer tag. That is Silver Scorpion and the number 4 if you're interested in that. I may not start streaming right away, but I'll probably start streaming a little bit before Halo 5 drops. Probably do a Halo 1 through 4 playthrough leading up to the release of Halo 5. And then whatever I end up doing in Halo 5, I'll just stream all that nonsense, so you can check me out if you want. Obviously, the choices are yours and yours alone. So back to this guide real quick. You have the option of going up and to the left or down and to the right. It is advisable to go up and to the left because I think it's easier, but also it is definitely quicker, regardless of which way is easier. The upper left is much faster, so for speedrunning purposes, you want to take that route. You want to go to the left at this point because the whole center area just explodes, like you can see right there. To the right of me, there is no longer anything to drive on, which would be unfortunate if you tried to, because you would just die. Fall to your death, gravity is still a thing on this planet, or lack of planet, whatever's happening here. I stopped there to kill the last grunt. That is an Easter egg if you walk up to that guy. He will unlock an achievement for you if you haven't done that already. He also has some fancy pants dialogue, which is pretty comical. I thought I would get some points for killing him, but apparently not. I either didn't get any points for killing him, or the Arbiter just peppered him and kind of knocked him off the map with the bullets instead of actually killing him with the bullets. But that is it for this guide, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Click like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at HaloCompletion and on Twitch at SilverScorpion4, that is the number 4, and I will see you guys later for more achievements.